Hello guys and welcome back to the next lesson of the programming language C# from A to Z for Learning channel. This is Nazar Al-Wattar with you. Today we will start the first lesson about coding using programming language C#. So if you have reached this video, so I can say congratulations for you, you have completed the lessons that associated with the C# code environment that will use it to execute the code to be run, and you are ready now to take off. All what you need, just tighten your seatbelt and we will take off right now. Open your IDE, your Visual Studio, just to explore this amazing IDE from Microsoft. As you can see here, if you opened your IDE for the first time, you will see this window in front of you. On the left, you will see this Start label. It has a new project, open a project if you have already an existing program or project, and open from source control. We will learn about all these things, don't worry. Here, next label, recent, if you have done some work, so you will see it in the recent label. In the middle pane, in the middle of this window, you will see some informations and some news about Microsoft products and about Microsoft platforms, and here this connect to Azure, to the Microsoft Cloud. On the right side you will see Solution Explorer, and we will explore this window, don't worry. All what you need now to click on New Project. Here it's very important to pay attention to this step. You have to pick this Visual C# 1, and then because we are going to start with the console applications, so you have to pick this one. Some of you will ask why we should start with console applications. Console applications is a very simple applications of C#, and this simple applications will let you focus on the code more than on graphical things. So we need to focus on coding and writing the code and writing the correct code at the first steps. Then we can move forward to the next step to deal with the graphical things like buttons, like menus, toolbars, and any other things. So just choose console applications, and here if you want you can leave the name as it is, but if you want, change it as we are going to do. Always the application's name should start with the capital letter, and if your application name has two or more than two words, so each word should start with the capital letter, as I am going to do. So for example, if I wanted to name my project Hello World, so I will write the first word with the capital letter, hello, and the second word start with the capital W. Next space, talking about the locations. You may have seen different locations because I have changed the location to save my applications, because I don't want to save them on C, partition C, because that maybe it has some risk. If I format my PC, so I will lose my code, so I don't want to do that. So I will change the location through pressing on the browse button and then creating new folders in any other logical partitions, and then click select folder so as to select your folder. Here the solution name, it will be similar to the project or application name. Then click on the OK. So you are ready now to write your first code. As you can see here, the Visual Studio has created this applications for you. Here you will write your code. On the right side you will see this Solution Explorer window. It has the files that we have talked about, some of them, like the assemblies files, and we will go and explore these files, don't worry. Right now, if you want to write your code, just be aware to write your code between these two parentheses. So as to execute your code, you have to put your code underneath this line of code between these two parentheses for this, the void main method, because your program will start execution from this point. So if you want to execute your code, you have to put it between these two parentheses. Because we are writing console applications, so I will put another space. We will start with the word console with the capital C. Just pay attention to that, to these details. Look, once you write the first 4 letters that specify the word, you will pop up this window and you will see the word or the correct word, because Visual Studio has designed to help you to predict what you are looking for. So if you want, you continue and writing what you are looking for. If you don't want and you want to use this features of the Visual Studio, all what you need to do just to click on the enter and it will pick the word for you. Then to call the methods that the console object has it, so all what you need to do, just put the period. Then it will pop up another window. This window express all methods that the console command has it. If you can move forward and go through this list and search what you are looking for, or just write the first word and you have to write it in the capital letter, as I am going to do, because we are looking for writing methods or writing property. So we will write the first capital letter W. It takes us to the W list, and then after the first letter, all letters must be in small. It gives you two options, write and write line. Write, it will write the code for you in the same line. So if you put like many write methods, or you want to print many things, so this method or this property will print the code at the same line. Write line, it will start with a new line. So pick what you want to pick, one of them. But here I will pick write line because I want to start write line. This property requires to put two parentheses. This property will print for you what you are looking for to print. If you want to print a text, so you have to put your text between two double quotation. Okay, you have to put your code between two double quotation, as I am doing now. Then write your code, write your text, write what you want to do. Hello world. Then in C#, the code line should end up with semicolon. So please pay attention to these details, so as not to fall in mistakes or so as not to make any errors. Okay, now we are ready to execute and run this applications so as to print this small text on the command window. But if I executed this applications in this way, the command window will pop up and disappear immediately. So I want the window keep showing in front of me. So I will put this command console dot read key. Don't worry about these properties or methods. You are going to use these methods or properties. This line of code will ask the window to stay appeared in front of you until you press any key. So this command will ask the window to wait the next enter, the next letter from you. So now to run this applications, we have many options to run that. So one of them, we can go to the debug and start debugging, or start without debugging. For example, if you have many lines of your code and you have debugged all these lines many times and you fixed your errors, so you could start without debugging. But I recommend to start with debugging. So these are two options to execute your code. Or we have another options. We could click on the start button so as to run this applications, and we are going to do that. So just click on the start buttons and you will see the command window appeared in front of you and printed the code for you, hello world. If you have done with this, so congratulations, you have executed your first applications using C# and you are ready to take off to the next level. You may end up with some errors, with some mistakes, and the Visual Studio will ask you to fix these errors and then re-execute your code, or maybe will ask you to build your applications to the last correct build. So just click to close this window. One of the common errors that you are forget to put the double quotations, or forget to put the semicolon at the end of these lines, or maybe you forget to put your code between these two parentheses for this method, for the void main method. So be aware and just take a close look to my code and put your code in the same way, in the same locations, and you will avoid any error. For example, if I removed the semicolon for this and I clicked on the start, I have forget to put it, for example, so it will pop up this window for you to ask you to fix your error or to move forward with this error, which is not good. So I will click on no to give me the error message in this window. So as you can see here, Visual Studio provide this window so as to show you your error. For example, if I put another error, I forget to close or to open the parentheses, the double quotations, so you can see here how many errors did I get. So be aware when you are writing your code and pay attention to these details so as to avoid any mistakes or any errors. So I will return everything as it was before, quotation and then semicolon, and you will see errors disappeared. As we can see here, Visual Studio has created for you many files. One of the most important these files is the program that ends up with the extension .cs, which is the abbreviation of C#. So this is your code and this is your program. As you can see here, this is the main method. As you can see here, this is the main method. So look, if I pressed on the main method, it will highlight a little bit. It will highlight the main method. It will highlight this line for you. But if I clicked on the program, so it's go to highlight the program line. Here we have the configuration. Don't worry about this file now. We will take it and we will explain it in details and in depth in the next lesson. Just the file types that you have that Visual Studio has created for you. Here in the properties you will see the assembly info that we have talked about it. This is the map for your code. So it will put it in the underneath properties menu. Okay, now let us go back to our program. Okay guys, now we are done with the first program of Visual Studio and we will see you in the next lesson. Don't go far away. We have a journey need to be complete. See you in the next lesson.